Touchable and Untouchable, Bayern Munich's revolution inside the squad. 4 players who cannot be touched, the pillars on which the dream project is built, players who have reached a stage of footballing immunity. There are also 3 players who can be touched, names that were once mainstays of the team, but now find themselves under the microscope of evaluation, and perhaps even on the substitutes bench. In this feature, we will walk you through the players who are untouchable, and in contrast, we will highlight the list of those who can be touched in the Bayern Munich new project. So, stay with us. Players who cannot be touched. Dayot Upamecano. The matter has finally been settled. Dayot Upamecano will remain at Bayern Munich until 2030. After months of back and forth, Bayern Munich have closed the file on renewing the French defender's contract. The player has agreed to continue, and according to Fabrizio Romano, he will sign a new deal running until the summer of 2030, bringing a long negotiation process to an end. The talks were not easy. Both parties entered multiple discussions in search of a balanced formula, but the outcome was a final agreement that satisfied everyone. Bayern have retained a key defensive pillar, and Upamecano has secured stability within a clearly defined sporting project. But the most important factor is the timing. The renewal comes at a moment when the team is in need of stability. Harry Kane. Bayern opened the Harry Kane file. Negotiations have officially begun. Bayern Munich have moved early to decide Harry Kane's future. Renewal talks with the English goalscorer have begun, a step that signals the player is untouchable. Sporting director Max Eberl confirmed that negotiations are currently underway, with the aim of reaching a final agreement that will settle the matter. However, the situation is not straightforward. Bayern are seeking continuity, while Kane has expressed a strong desire to return to the Premier League next summer. A clear clash of intentions between a project seeking stability and a player considering a reverse move. Michael Olise. Olise imposes his name on the global debate, and the numbers lead the verdict. In France, Michael Olise is no longer seen as merely an outstanding winger for Bayern Munich, but is now being seriously discussed as the best winger in the world at present, based on what he delivers on the pitch rather than outside it. Here, the judgment is driven by numbers. Olise has provided 21 assists for his teammates across all competitions, a figure that clearly places him ahead of Lamine Yamal, who has recorded just 12 assists with Barcelona. The gap reflects not only productivity, but the player's influence within the system. More importantly, this statistic opens a wider door. At this rate, Olise becomes a genuine candidate to break the record for the most assists in a single year, currently held by Dusan Tadic with 37 assists in 2021 with Ajax. The comparison is no longer purely technical, but numerical and temporal. And here, Bayern say the player can never be touched. Serge Gnabry. The player is close to a decision, and Bayern secure their winger until 2028. Serge Gnabry is just one step away from signing a new contract with Bayern Munich. The financial details reflect clear confidence. The expected annual salary ranges between 15 and 16 million euros before tax, including incentives and bonuses, placing Gnabry among the top tier of the wage structure. But the picture does not stop there. The negotiations also included a clause granting the club the option to extend the contract for an additional year until 2029, a detail that gives Bayern future flexibility and protects their investment in a player who has reached the age of 30. The decision appears calculated, sporting stability and controllable terms, and Bayern say the player is untouchable, even if attempts are made. Players who can be touched. Rafael Guerreiro. The player is returning, but his future at Bayern remains uncertain. Despite being close to returning to action, Rafael Guerreiro's future with Bayern Munich does not appear settled. His contract, which expires next summer, may not be renewed, opening the door to a possible departure. The reasons are clear in the details: limited appearances and an injury record that has affected his consistency, at a time when competition for his position has increased. This situation makes the current season a strong candidate to be his last in a Bayern shirt, unless both parties reach a new agreement. Looking deeper, the picture becomes more balanced. Guerreiro is an experienced player with clear attacking quality from the back. If the renewal issue is not resolved before June 2026, a separation scenario appears the most likely. Such a decision could give the player freedom of movement, but at the same time raises a major question about his next destination among Europe's top clubs. Here, Bayern signals that he can be let go. Jackson, the player between Bayern and Chelsea, the loan is nearing its end with no permanent future. Jackson moved from Chelsea to Bayern Munich on loan for the 2025/26 season, under an official contract running until 30 June 2026, as announced by the London club. The deal included a clause allowing a permanent transfer for a large fee, but his path has become clear early on. Reports indicate that Bayern do not intend to activate the clause. The player's expected number of appearances will not reach the required threshold, something the club president confirmed openly when he stated that Jackson will not join permanently. On the other hand, Chelsea are not planning on the player's return after the end of the loan. The plan is to sell him in the summer 2026 transfer window, with the aim of generating financial return. With both Bayern and Chelsea ruled out, the situation opens a new door. Interest from Atletico Madrid and other clubs places Jackson in front of a new transfer option. Manuel Neuer. Neuer sets the condition. Performance before signing. Manuel Neuer has sparked debate inside Bayern Munich with a clear message. Continuation depends on readiness, not reputation. The veteran goalkeeper, whose contract expires in the summer of 2026, has confirmed his willingness to renew, but only after a careful assessment of his physical condition and number of appearances. The timing is calculated. Neuer has set March or April as the moment to make his decision, meaning the coming months will be a practical test on the pitch, not at the negotiating table. The message leaves no room for interpretation, no renewal based on emotion or history, but on conviction and performance. A stance that reflects awareness of his current role and places Bayern in front of a new reality in a sensitive position. The question now is, will Neuer provide the proof himself on the pitch? Or is the end of a legendary career closer than expected?